So I'm just going to talk very briefly about private land conservation programs at Council. And I'd just like to acknowledge Casey Taylor, who put these slides together. Thank you, Casey. So we have two main programs, but also other opportunities. So Habitat for Wildlife is really about wildlife-friendly backyards and gardens. It's free to join, get some resources out of that, and you'll see the map of Wingecarribee Shire with the members that we have currently in the yellow dots, really aligning with our urban towns and villages. Just gets you access to some interesting workshops and other events as well. Land for Wildlife is our main program. It's also a free program, and all you need is half a hectare or more of native vegetation or other natural area, whether it be rainforest, wetland or grassland. So if you put in an expression of interest for Land for Wildlife, you'll get a proper desktop assessment looking at all your natural resources, a free property site visit by an expert ecologist, a suite of mapping products, and you're eligible for grants up to $2,000 per year to do work on your property to enhance the biodiversity. You get a beautiful sign on your front fence, and I'm sure a lot of you are either members or have seen these signs around the place. You also sign up to a monthly electronic newsletter, which is really informative, and it links you into lots of other things that are happening that's not just by council, but other agencies like Local Land Services and a queue. We also do biannual tree giveaways in autumn and spring, and I think we gave away around 6,000 trees, shrubs last financial year. And we've got a lovely collaboration with Southern Highlands Landcare Network called Helping Hands, and if you're struggling to get those plants in the ground, they may be available to come and help. As you can see, we have a really good distribution of Land for Wildlife members across Wingecarribee Shire. Larger dots mean larger properties, and it really complements the Habitat for Wildlife program. So for more information, just go to Council's website and search for Get Involved. I also want to just mention a couple of other programs, the Southern Highlands Koala Conservation Project, which was mentioned earlier by Jenny. And there's just been a podcast released by Highlands of FM where Casey's talking about the project in a lot more detail. So I recommend you either go to Council's website and look for the podcast. It's just been released. It's well worth listening to get a better handle on what our priorities are coming up and what we've achieved to date. And the other program is the Rural Partner Program, which really complements the work of Local Land Services. It's a fairly small funded program, but we did produce the Rural Living Handbook, which is available up the back where Patrick and Casey are sitting. And that's, if you're a new landholder to the Wingecarribee Shire particularly, it's a really handy resource for you to look at. So we've heard a lot today, a lot of information. So I guess there's a few takeaway messages, like key messages, I suppose, is just if you have a problem with Phytophthora on your own property, just observe, decide what you would like to do. Do you want to wait and see? There's always, the option to do nothing, or you may want to remove those trees, and then you can think about things like hygiene and reach out to various agencies for support, like DPI, if you want to do some soil testing and see if Phytophthora is in your soil or not. If you decide you do want to remove trees, then visit Council's website or contact Council's tree management team, Charlene or one of her team, to find out whether you need a clearing approval or not. Then there's a lot of options around planning your planting project. So you can tap into the carbon market like Graham just talked about, or do it a different way. And I guess a key takeaway is to undertake your revegetation project using local endemic species and a diversity of species, really, to try and ensure that it will be there for the long term and it will be resilient and hardy. And I just want to encourage people to get involved in conservation and landscape restoration programs like Land for Wildlife, Glossies in the Mist and the Koala project. So if you have any questions, our speakers will be around for the next 30 minutes or so, probably just up the back there near some of the resources or outside there where Local Land Services are set up. So there's plenty of information resources available to get you started. We hope that you've all got something out of today, but if you do need more information or support, please reach out to the people that are here today.